Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it's a back to work Wednesday here inside the SWBC podcast studio at the Star in Frisco. And this is Mick Shots, brought to you by Miller Lite. And they are prepared on the practice field to have football players on the football field within the next hour. And we're getting you set for it here. A Mike McCarthy press conference is happening as we get started here too. So this is going to be a breaking news edition of Mick Shots.
We have competition.
That's right.
You can listen to us or listen to McCarthy.
Oh, we're much more exciting.
That's right. And just keep listening to us, and we'll let you know what McCarthy is saying.
Yes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I've got a scout listening for us.
Okay, very good.
I just got to remember to keep my phone close.
Okay. And Nate in Frisco, hope phone lines are open.
Yeah, please, Nate. We need you today. We gotta beat McCarthy, man.
Okay, I tried to listen behind enemy lines this morning, and in Detroit, they aren't talking about the Lions. They're talking about a baseball team up there.
I noticed that when I tried to call up the Detroit Free Press, and I said, well, let me see what's going on with the Lions. And the first 5 or 6 or 7 stories in the list was all baseball.
The Lions are coming off a bye week, and so they're getting healthier, of course, and just in time for the Cowboys. And
I shouldn't, and I'm not throwing them under the bus because this morning's Dallas Morning News, the edition I got at home, there was not a Cowboy story in it. Can you imagine?
No way! I gotta go.
We must have won the game.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you gotta call up the newspaper edition.
Okay.
Not their online stuff, because if you go online and hit Cowboys, it'll have stories that are up there. But they weren't in my paper. How about that?
How about that? Mickey still reads a newspaper.
That also. You're like, what?
Is this,
You're like, don't
so
look
is this
up
a
what
newspaper you get at home, or
At home, yeah.
you actually?
I get
they still
home
deliver.
delivery. Yes.
Really? How many?
There's a paper boy?
In a car, not on a bicycle with a sack.
I was the last person on my block to get newspapers, and that ended probably with COVID, maybe sometime in the last 3 or 4 years.
I'm the only one in our
guarantee you are. Probably for the last 5 years.
You get the little, outputs or whatever you call them, little.
Oh, the little short
weekly little
version.
things. Yeah, I get those all the time. I use those to help pick up my dog's stuff.
Which is the same thing you used to do at the morning news and the Times Herald, Mickey, back when you were playing,
take
right?
Mickey's article alone. Separate Mickey's article.
No, you take the little plastic bag it comes in, and that's what you pick up your dog.
No. I picked up your article.
No,
I used your article.
Mickey, the plastic bag had some value to it. I'm going to save that for something else. This article has no value to it.
That's how that goes.
And you were worse for it too, for not reading.
So last night,
yes,
I went to the fair.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay.
Went to the state fair.
I'll be going Saturday.
You'll be going Saturday? Well, yeah, you're going for the game.
That's right.
Yeah. By yourself?
Are you working or sitting in the stands?
I'm not working, and I'm not sitting in the stands.
Oh, he's got a suite.
Big time, boy. He hated to admit
he
that,
knows
didn't he?
people.
He's special. He's special.
No, I technically am working. That's how I'm getting into these.
They can smell fresh cash.
You'd be walking the sideline.
No, I got family coming in for the game.
What's your deal? What's your
what do you mean?
Culinary option?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not standing in line to get the tickets for the whatever at the fair, but
golly, dude, you are really a kept man, aren't you? Gee, he doesn't even stand in line.
Okay,
do you get coupons?
So you
ain't have to buy coupons.
How are you going to get your corny dog?
Oh man, I spent $100 in coupons last night.
So what's your culinary taste?
I ended up with the we shared so much stuff. I ended up with the crawfish pies.
Okay,
you get 3 of those for $20.
Oh, my.
Yeah, man.
Mine is wherever the shortest line is on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Did you go before or after?
Before the game. Huh?
You go
I mean, that's
before.
the whole deal.
Okay.
You get atmosphere. In fact, I may
After the game, it's
I
too
may
much,
just
right?
I may see the bands come into the stadium and see my family, and then I may go home and watch the game. But
Also, pickled pizza.
Go home and watch the
Pickled pizza.
pickle pizza.
Yeah.
What do you
Pizza
mean?
with pickle. It's a pickled pizza.
Instead of pepperoni, it's pickles?
It's pickles. Yeah. Delicious.
You ate it?
I did. It was, we shared, but yeah, it was good. I'm trying to think of everything.
That might be as bad as putting pineapple on pizza.
Well, the pineapple came with the ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Pineapple
That's fine.
With tahine.
Just
with
not
tahine,
on pizza.
With the tahine sprinkles on there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
actually,
I want to know who had State Fair talk twice in a day on their bingo card. This morning we talked the same thing.
that's because it's the biggest week of the year. This is the biggest week of the year, Producer Supreme.
No, Isaiah Stanback went to the fair
I
last
saw
night.
Isaiah.
You saw him? There you go.
I saw the whole family.
Did you see what he won?
No, I didn't. What did he win?
So he goes every year and he wins his daughter probably the biggest fluffy you've ever seen. And guess
I
what?
think
Guess
it was
what?
hanging around her back.
Throwing
Yes.
a football or
Yes.
something?
It was throwing a football in a basket. That's how every year he does that.
And I was thinking because I passed by the basketball hoop, and of course, that's probably rigged and it's really small.
Yeah, the
but
rim's not big enough.
I'm pretty sure if you get a good hoopster over there, he
Now,
can
he
kind
did
of
the
take
he did the
What do you mean?
football toss.
What do you mean a good hooster? What do you mean he?
anyone. Was she?
Caitlin Clark. over
Hey,
there,
I'll take her. I'll take her.
Will
that
they
would
give
be
her-
even better.
Will they give her?
That would be even better.
Will they give her a smaller ball?
Get a diamond. What do we have? What's Dallas wings?
Wings, yeah.
Wings.
Yeah,
Enrique
get one of them.
Ogunbowale.
Get her. Yeah.
Or get
I
Luka.
don't care.
Or you can get
But
Luka
they could
over
take
there.
them. They could take them. I could just see them right now. I think it's actually higher, and it's the rim. The hoop is smaller. I think I think it's higher.
Of course it is.
Crazy.
Or
They certainly aren't very forgiving rims.
No, you could get a hoopster over there, and he or she
the ball was bigger.
probably. But as long as they can legally go in
through it?
you can get someone to do just like Isaiah.
You're not hitting like the old milk cartons off the
No,
stack.
I don't think backboard could help at all. You got to go straight in, and it could be done. It could be done.
What happens for me, I said that I get into the fair with my media pass, whatever, but usually what happens, especially in a year like this year when Oklahoma is a 14-point underdog in this game, I'm going to have an old college fraternity brother who's going to have tickets that he'll text me. One of them will text me on Friday, say, "Hey, you want to go to the game? I got 2 tickets. Come drive by my house and
What's
pick 'em
your
up."
frat? What's your frat?
Sigma Phi Epsilon.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Sig Ep, yeah.
All right.
Fraternity.
Yeah, didn't I? Boy, you know what? I have found out you are a man of, you're an onion. You have layers, brother. I did not know this. You have
You know
layers.
what? In college, I had a roommate that had a piranha.
That's right.
That's a good one, Chris. So that's
been
why you
waiting to
have all
play
the-
that.
I had a piranha. I didn't have a piranha. My roommate did. It was
That's
left
why
over
you
from
have
the
all
past
these
roommates.
stories. I
That's
thought
right.
you just had colorful friends. I didn't know it
Nope.
was a frat.
No.
Save that one.
On Friday, we'd go get goldfish for the piranha.
Oh my God. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Like at the store?
Yeah,
No,
you got-
they'd go to the fair and win it. Never see it coming.
So you came with one of them little cartons
I didn't do
with
any of
goldfish
this.
in it?
I didn't do any of this. My roommate did it.
Oh my goodness.
Golly.
I was wondering what was wrong with your friends. Now I realize, okay.
They're come through in the clutch now, though, because I'll occasionally get an OU Texas ticket from them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that works.
All
Does he
right.
still have piranhas?
He's grown up now.
That's right. Okay, so bring it. Well, you don't know what's going on because McCarthy's talking to the media right now.
That's right. And he'll probably be giving a injury update, although Stephen Jones gave a little bit of one. And
Specifically speaking.
it sounded like that they were going to get Deron Bland practicing, and we'll see where that goes.
I heard.
Like a chance to play.
I heard.
Hadn't played football since, Trying to think.
Want me to look it up?
When he got his, I think it was the end of August, right? It was before the season started.
It was before the season.
He limped out of practice at
August 22nd.
yeah, okay. So we were still in California.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, August 22nd.
So that's how many weeks?
Well,
4, 5, 6 weeks he's missed.
and I think it was 6 to 8 weeks is
Yeah,
what the
that's about
time
right.
span on it was.
Yeah.
So no ramp up then.
And they did the surgery. So, well, going to have 2 days of ramp
I
up and
guess.
see what
They
happens on
accelerate
Sunday,
the
right?
ramp, yeah.
My understanding, it might be
It's not a steep ramp.
like
it will be.
like a shared position maybe with he and Kalen Carson, because I think Carson's ready also. So they should be putting Nealon on injured reserve. That opens up a spot for Carl Lawson to elevate him to the 53 because he's already used his 3 elevations off the practice squad. So that'll kind of help out on the defensive end spot. That'll give him, what, 4 now? Or 3 defensive ends on. Well, it'll be 4 because KJ Henry's on there. And we got T. Wheat. T. Wheat's now got a nickname, right? No,
T. Wheat.
Got to mess with Tyrus anymore. It's T. Wheat. And he played well. Maybe he
did.
deserved a nickname.
He did
right?
play well.
And then Golston, Lawson, and Henry. So you got 4 defensive ends. And if you get Bland back, or at least Carson back, you can have 4 active cornerbacks or 5.
My colleague at CBS 11, Brianna Aldridge, tweets that Deron Bland will practice on a pitch count today, according to Mike McCarthy just moments ago. Kalen Carson will practice at limited capacity.
And
Same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
and they could,
But that's just quoting McCarthy, how he said it.
but that doesn't mean they have to take him off IR because he has the 21-day deal, right?
Tyler Guyton will practice also.
Well, that's good.
So we have all these injuries with us. What does Detroit look like?
And Micah Parsons will not practice today, will work with the rehab group, according to Mike McCarthy. To answer your question, I just did hear Dan Campbell on Detroit radio talking about their center, Frank Ragnow, who has had a pec injury.
I got that right here.
Okay, so what do you have on that?
That he had missed the last game with a partial torn pec, and he should be back in practice this week.
And Dan Campbell, in his press conference this morning, said that it was the Seattle game, which was 10 days ago now.
Right.
Someone came up and hit him. He was walking through the locker room to talk to the trainer, and somebody came up next to him and slammed him up against a wall. Well, Campbell said he just kept walking, not thinking anything of it. Strange. And then that same someone hit him again, and he said it was Ragnow, and Ragnow was telling him, "I'm ready to play."
Okay.
So
I thought that's how Ragnow got hurt.
no,
Yeah,
that-
that's
no.
what I was thinking too.
No.
Now he got hurt.
That's how
walking to the-
Ragnow was telling him his pec is okay and he's ready to play. Apparently, Ragnow is a very tough guy, old school tough guy, and he's going to play.
And
And
also,
Campbell probably gets knocked up against the wall by several players on his team because it's normal, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
also their safety, Brian Branch, the description said he had a brain injury, but he missed the game.
This is who?
Brian Branch, their safety.
Yeah, from
but
Alabama.
But he missed the last game because of an illness, not because of a brain injury.
That's concussion. Is that what they're trying to say? Concussion?
Why didn't they say that? I read it and I wrote it down. Brain injury. How do you? Maybe it wasn't total concussion or something, but that's the way it was described.
Nate in Frisco has texted in, "We should tune in to Coach just for a few seconds. Wow, we don't want to hear about Bill and his steaks and anacondas and piranhas and goldfish from the fair. Wow."
Could have done better listening to Mike, right?
Man.
20 years, in the middle class.
Oh, there he is.
There you go.
Okay.
Marquise Davenport.
Marcus Davenport, defensive end.
He was out I don't know if he got hurt.
Nate in Frisco says he's still out.
He's still out. That's what I
So
thought.
there you go. That's the latest from Frisco.
And their defense is top 10 in scoring and rushing defense.
And their offense
is number one in a whole bunch of stuff.
like number 3 in total offense.
Just,
397 a game, by the way. 151.3 rushing. We'll find out.
Sure will.
They got a combo there. They got a running back by committee, too.
Montgomery and Gibbs.
David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs.
And they're pretty darn good.
It's funny how everything's going back to where it was. Defense, running game being extremely important. But the pay hadn't changed for running backs at all. You know, the importance that you put on a running back now, it's still there, but you don't have any individual superstars like we used to have.
Well, Derrick Henry's close to it.
Close.
And he got 2 years, $16 million, $9 million guaranteed. So that's to Everson's point. The pay is not.
It's very low.
But that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
For what's going on now.
Well, I mean, this guy's a superstar.
That's right.
He's not just
The running backs don't get the
like this
$34 million
right,
a year.
Right. It's so crazy. But they're understanding that the importance is still there. I don't know if we were so enamored by Patrick Mahomes and what he could do.
Look at Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hadn't played this year.
There you go.
That's the problem for running backs is they get hurt. And
they're treating running backs like leased cars. You use them up, trade them in, get another one.
And it could happen the next play. And so that's the problem.
That is the problem.
And evidently there's enough running backs out there that you can just shuffle them in.
Well, I would have to say that you got to have, I think what's even more important is the offensive line.
Right.
We're finding out that you can't run if you don't have a line. I don't care who you are. You can't run if you don't have a line.
Which is what Dan Campbell did when he first got to Detroit. Who was his first draft pick? It was Penei Sewell, his right tackle.
There you go.
And there were high fives all around the room. It's the same thing that Harbaugh did with the Chargers this year.
Yeah.
First pick, 5th pick in the draft, Joe Alt. He's got his tackle.
Same thing Jason Garrett did when he got here.
That's right. Jason Garrett, the first draft, he was the head coach. The first pick was Tyron Smith.
So 3.
And then 3 of the next 4 years is Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Any guards picked in the first round?
Well, and
no, not anymore.
but yeah, for him there was, but 10 years
we
ago,
had a guard. We just had a
Zach
guard
Martin.
like 2-3 years ago.
Although Zach was a tackle,
We didn't have a
Notre
guard.
Dame.
We didn't have a
he
guard
was-
pick. We didn't pick a guard anywhere.
What do you
in the
mean?
first round, the Cowboys. Like in the last
They
2-3
turned him
years.
into a guard.
No, I thought he was a guard.
Tyler Smith.
Yeah, okay. Your boy.
He still can't get over that, can he?
You couldn't get
last
over.
I saw
You
him,
saw he played tackle the last game.
Last I saw, he was a tackle.
Back at you.
Only by force. Only because he was forced to.
But he
I'm
was
sorry.
good enough to do it.
Yeah, he was.
And,
I wonder if anyone asked McCarthy if Tyler Guyton will practice. He didn't. Who's practicing with the first team?
I bet if Guyton's ready to play or practice,
If he's practicing, he's
back
with the first team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Nate's trying to call me. Why don't he just text me? He's testing.
just wanna make
he's
sure your
testing me.
stuff-
He's
Right?
testing your phone.
Yeah.
And by the way, Nate
Same
in
thing
Frisco.
Sean Payton did when he got to Denver. He got 2 offensive linemen off of free agents.
That's exactly right. He's a very astute
He
listener.
is, man. I think he got a computer over there somewhere. Somebody's feeding him information.
He has FOMO right now.
He just called me too. All right, we've got much more to get to. We got more from Mike McCarthy's press conference, and Mickey's got a legal pad full of notes
I got a couple
to get
great
you
notes for you.
ready for Cowboys Lions when we come back on Mick Shots.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls, with Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation. Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is now exclusively in the Dallas Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to the all-new Cowboys Drops feature, team news and pre-sale access, and fan and kid of the game. Download the app now to join.
All right, we continue with Mick Shots. Cowboys will be on the practice field here in the next half hour, and Mike McCarthy's just wrapped up his press conference. Mickey Spagnola has... How did you tease that? You said you had some notes.
Couple Mick Shots.
Oh, a couple of Mick Shots. Wow. Okay.
Well, this one, maybe everybody knows. It was
Hold
news.
On, Mick.
It was.
Proceed.
It was news to me because when the game ended immediately, we didn't sit there and watch what was going on. We need to get the elevator to get down to the locker room. But when I went back and watched the final two plays, the first one was Overshown not intercepting the desperation pass. The second one was when they tried to play Cal Stanford and throw the ball around. I saw that Jordan Lewis, when it finally ball came loose or whatever, he picked it up. And Pickens face masked him. And I was like, well, did they let him get away with that? But somebody told me they threw a flag and called a personal foul for face mask.
They did.
And I'm thinking personal fouls, you get fined.
Yes, you do.
You'll
right?
get a fine.
And he'll get fined, right, for a stupid thing like that? What a punk.
Did you see Jordan Lewis, the video of Jordan Lewis go walk into the locker room? And he said,
I did.
As he was walking, and there's cameras or cell phones, and reporters just get the players as they're walking to the locker room. And Jordan Lewis said, as he turned to go walk into the locker room, Pickens is weak, like that.
Oh, well, I'm sure he was jabbering after the game was over.
Yeah.
I didn't know he talked so much trash.
He's pretty
I
fire
love
on
it.
the field.
I love it. Did you see him snatch that dude down, man? Number 19?
Yes.
I mean, that was vicious. I loved it. I mean, his jersey's torn. You out there, you got people's colors all on your jerseys and all the faded stuff from the field and the man. That was just the environment, the atmosphere there. For us to come out of there with that win in that atmosphere, the way we did, with that kind of bravado, I'm snatching your dude down. You know what I mean? I got you so upset you're gonna get fined. Not only did Pickens, he didn't talk after the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
And
he's getting a lot of grief.
He ended up going to the weight room, and just sat in there by himself, is what they said.
Well, Zim.
So that he wouldn't have to answer any questions.
Zim was talking about Jordan Lewis, and he said he's not a big stature guy, and I call him Pitbull because he doesn't. He'll mix it up pretty well.
He doesn't back down.
He doesn't back down. Well, I think at some point, and I don't know where it's at, he talked about how when he's on the sideline, it's like, hey, put me in.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we're not in nickel.
This
and
I
he
did
goes,
not.
I need to be in there.
This I did not know.
I don't
did
need
not
to
know
back
he was
down like I'm small.
Man, his jersey was all torn off. It looked like he was back in college playing in some rivalry game. I loved it.
So I didn't notice.
That's the kind of attitude you need on the road, man.
Right? I didn't notice that. And then the other thing.
Mick, before you go on, someone from Nate from Frisco said you don't like Jordan Lewis because he's too small.
No, I never said that. I said sometimes he gets lost.
Oh, okay.
Like early in his career.
Okay.
And somebody tweeted me out that he goes, and he tweeted Jordan Lewis at the same time. Spagnuolo said you get lost out there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, also, so
just another mix shot.
You got another mix shot.
Okay.
This is a. So, asking John Fossil about the last extra point when they jumped outside twice, like on purpose or not on purpose, they were trying to time it so that they can get a block. And he said, well, what they were trying to do is scoop and score, and get 2 points, tie the game. And I said, well, the official announced after the second one that if there is another one, it's an unsportsmanlike penalty. And so I asked Fossil, I go, what's the penalty? He goes, if they do it 3 times in a row, we get the point.
Wow.
I'd never heard of that before.
Okay.
So that's what he said, and I thought that was pretty interesting because they were jumping it, hoping that they got away with it, and they didn't, and then they didn't, and you can only do it 5 yards so many times, right? Pretty soon you're to the goal line, there's no penalty. So he said, yeah, you get the point.
Wow.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting.
I like the challenge though. I like. We're going to try and time this as best we can. I do like that.
And it's okay if we jump off side,
I like
right?
that. That's smart.
I'll
take it.
The only other thing, it might have said, oh, now we get the ball at the half-yard line. We can go for 2.
Right.
And if you don't get it, then it's still a 2-point game. But they didn't bite that.
And the clock, the time runs off.
Time's off, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
But there was even a decision to be made on whether you kick the extra point or not. Because if you block the extra point and return it that late in the game, that may be their best chance of winning the game because they could tie it with a 2-point defensive touchdown.
Or you could have gone for 2, and if you didn't make it, you didn't make it, right? Instead of just.
Or you can just take a knee.
Yeah.
And that's.
Because you could also fumble, right?
Right.
Yeah. So there was a lot to discuss there in that little period of time.
That's exactly right.
Tell you what, the Lions, they are a team that does seem to milk every moment. And also they try and be traditional team, what they call it, when you got the 3rd and 1s, you got the end of the quarter, the end of the half, situational football. They're very good at paying attention to situational football. Dan Campbell squeezes every moment out of the game. That's what we have to be prepared for. He squeezes every moment. He takes advantage of every situation that he can, and he tries to exploit it if you're not ready for it. He tried to do it, of course, to us in the playoff game, and it kind of backfired a little bit.
Criticized a lot for how many times he goes for it on
That's
4th
right.
down.
Well, so that brings us to everybody's going to ask the Lions now if this is a revenge game because you got screwed last time. No, They screwed themselves.
Sure did.
We forgot the details of all that,
They
right?
screwed themselves. I thought it was so fun, but he tried though.
They tried, right? They tried to act like, okay, this guy really didn't report in.
Everybody wants to believe him too.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to believe him.
Because they had the other two guys standing right by the referee, and they were going to make him eligible.
They were so slick, but they slicked themselves.
And what everybody forgets is if they had announced that, what was his name? It was Tyler Decker or something Decker. If he was announced eligible, the Cowboys would have covered him.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have just looked at him as, oh, he's just an offensive lineman sitting out over there, right?
God.
And the other part was the guy that was announced, they should have thrown a penalty because he was covered up. He was inside of the formation.
I just went back and looked at my tweet from New Year's Eve, December 31st. Audio from the Dallas Cowboys radio broadcast. Referee Brad Allen announces to the entire stadium and tells the Dallas defense prior to the Lions' two-point try that number 70, Dan Skipper, reported as eligible. No mention of number 68, Taylor Decker.
Nope.
And you know what? We could hear it in the press box when he announced it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it wasn't like no one heard it.
I remember there was that big controversy after the game, and so I checked with Douglas Barraclough because I had not listened to the game on the radio broadcast, and I'm like, I bet they have it on the radio broadcast. And so Douglas sent me the clip of it, and then I had the video, and I wonder what that sounds like.
Here it comes. If he had to make the playoffs,
number 70
maybe.
is an eligible receiver. Number 70 is eligible.
They have brought in an extra
look at
offensive
this.
lineman.
So,
by the way, my tweet at 1.2 million views. I was still getting.
You're famous.
I was still getting likes on that tweet like 4 months later, like in the middle of the offseason, draft night. I'm getting likes on the Dan Skipper tweet.
So did Dan Campbell not hear that over the stadium? Everybody in the stadium heard it.
I would imagine it was a lot of stuff going on in Dan Campbell's ear at that time.
They got headsets on,
But
and he got people talking from the top.
But all the coaches, they all had to hear it.
They probably were all talking.
They were trying to pull a fast one.
That is true. That is true. They were just hoping that it worked.
Yeah. Like, oh no, we this is the guy that's eligible. And then they tried throwing it to the other guy. Guy was wide open. Because there was the offensive tackle. Why stand somebody over
there were defenders on that side of the
and
formation.
And they moved.
Right? Because no one is eligible over here.
Right. Why would I stay
Why would I stay here?
You know who's going to be a captain for the Lions this game?
Dan Skipper.
That would be so funny.
He's going to be.
I mentioned it. Did I mention it? I mentioned it yesterday that the last time they played, they brought him in as an eligible, and the referee did it with two hands.
Right. You talked about it.
There was no mistaking.
Oh, man.
Dan Skipper's eligible. He probably knew his name.
Oh, man.
Or Brad. I think it was Brad Allen was the official.
It was. Yes, it was. Yeah. All right. We continue with more Mick shots in a moment.
Yeah, that was a good day.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
To Mick Shots.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Man, such a distraction over here.
He is. We got a tour going through. It's
Yeah.
Nate in Frisco wearing a Texas
He's got his
Longhorns
Longhorns
t-shirt.
shirt on.
That is not cool, man.
He wore that
That
for
is not cool.
He can wear
Where'd
it.
you
for
get
Bill.
that
From
bro?
his son. His
Oh,
son
that's
played
right.
at Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Trey played at Texas. Played very well at Texas, too. And Nate's out in the hallway singing The Eyes of Texas. Yeah.
That don't even look right on him. That
No,
color. It doesn't even look right on him.
No.
Bad color.
Well, it doesn't
He
look
looks like
right
a
on
large
anybody,
pop
does
can.
it?
Of course,
Yeah.
right. Except for my baby brother who loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them too. My daddy always said, even though the family's from Oklahoma, but I grew up in Irving, that you're a Texan. You need to root for Texas until they play OU.
That's not what my daddy told me.
Yeah.
That's not what my daddy told me.
Well, you had a cousin that played very well for them.
That Herky Walls was playing for them. But before that, when I was growing up, we were all about OU because they signed all the black players.
That's right, Mary.
So, hey, I had no choice.
Makes sense, right?
Makes sense to me. Okay, Pops, gotcha.
Yep, that's right. By the way, there's a great article on Barry Switzer on ESPN.com today. You need to check it out. Yeah, really good. He's 87 years old.
Wow.
Just turned 87.
I bet he's
still
the
going
same.
strong.
I bet he's still the same.
Yep.
He's
That's
too ornery
that's
crazy
that's
not to
basically
change.
what the article is about, that he's still the same at age 87.
That's
They
crazy.
call him the king in Oklahoma.
He was ahead of the game. Right?
I would love it if he were in town early on Friday to get him sitting in that chair right there. Wouldn't that be great?
Bud was the one that started it.
Well,
though,
he
right?
used to come in.
Bud Wilkinson.
Yeah,
he
he's
used
the
to
one that
come
really
in for the
started
game
recruiting.
because he would do an appearance here. But he got hired last time when I talked to him. I tried to.
He still makes money.
But he's at one of the casinos in Oklahoma, and it's a paid
On
appearance.
game day, yeah.
right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bud was the one that really started the
Yeah, back
recruiting.
in the 50s.
Yeah.
Well,
how long did Bud go? How long?
He was in the 50s until early 60s, I guess, something like that. And they had a dry spell right after him. And then Chuck Fairbanks was the head coach. Switzer was the offensive coordinator when they switched to the wishbone. And then in 1973 was Switzer's first year as the head coach.
Gotcha. Who was the first black player to play for them? Do you know? Was it the big?
It was
big lineman?
a guy named Prentice Gott and that was early 60s, late 50s, early 60s.
So Bud didn't do that.
I don't know. I don't recall if Bud was the head coach then or not. But as you know, Switzer, that was a great advantage that OU had over Texas in the 70s. His
running backs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Prentice Gott ended up at the University of Missouri in
Is that right?
academics. And when I was in college, my senior year, I did a feature story on him. And he was the most gracious guy, smart, do you know what his studies were? I'm trying to. He wasn't teaching. He was like an administrator in charge of whatever.
So he was an educator.
But he was. He was sharp. His wife was sharp. I think.
Well, he went to OU.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say.
wherever he went to get his master's or doctor's degree.
That's what shaped him. Yes.
He's passed away, right?
Yes, 2005. He passed away at age 67.
Nice. I bet
You were talking about Switzer because that's where all the black players went. When I was working in Jackson, Mississippi, we'd do a story related to a noted player from Mississippi, but on the town. So I went to this town. I can't remember what it was, but I was interviewing this guy, and he was talking about what he did in high school, and then he ended up at Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Duffy Doherty was recruiting the black. This would have been late '60s,
Mm-hmm.
and so when he was telling me a story about all his accolades, and I go, so. None of the schools here, like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or Southern, didn't recruit you? And he goes, son, where are you from? And I told him, he goes, do you realize that those opportunities weren't available for people like me? And I'm going, oh, what an idiot. Because those schools didn't start integrating until the early 70s, right?
They did not. Texas included.
So Duffy Doherty and all those schools up north were coming into Mississippi to recruit all those players.
Isn't that crazy?
Since you asked the question on Prentice Scott, Bud Wilkinson, this was in 1956. Bud Wilkinson was pressured against giving Prentice Scott a scholarship. A group of black doctors and pharmacists gave him money to attend the school. And within a year, Gott had a scholarship, and the donated money was given to another black student. He became a two-time All-Big Eight player and was academic All-American, and as Mickey said, got his Ph.D. in psychology at Missouri.
Okay. So you had two students got.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they over-donated.
So it was Bud Wilkinson who was the head coach.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's why Don Perkins got to New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Iowa, and he got to New Mexico because they could recruit a black player.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the first wide receiver the Cowboys had early. He had set all their records.
Oh God!
He was from Colorado.
Yeah.
I'll think of it here in a second.
He was before Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and John Wooten were the first black players at University of Colorado, and that's how they got to Colorado from New Mexico.
I think he was number 80.
Ah, darn it!
I think he was number 80. I could be wrong.
Frank Clark.
That's it.
There you go.
He was 82
with a
yep.
With an E.
Yeah, Frank Clark. He was a great player.
Yeah. But both of them were the first scholarship football players at Colorado.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we forget about how things changed, and Switzer was right on top of that stuff because he'd walk into any living room.
Well, he grew up in Crosset, Arkansas, and he grew up with black kids.
That's what I was going to say. He grew up with black kids. That part I knew about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he was welcomed. That's how he got all the Selmans, right?
Yeah, and that's what I thought they were the first two, because
there were three of them, but no,
they signed all three.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Selman brothers.
I thought it was just
that's like I remember when I was in college there. When I was in college there, the Doobie Brothers were doing a concert at the football stadium, and they had Switzer there for the press conference announcing that the Doobie Brothers are coming to town. I have no idea, but anyway, but what I remember is Switzer's comment. He said, "Well, I don't know anything about the Doobie Brothers, but if they're anything like the Selman Brothers, they'll be right. They'll do real well here."
Oh my God!
They were Selman Brothers are from Eufaula, Oklahoma, same hometown as J.C. Watts.
And you did have a community of well-to-do blacks in that area in Oklahoma, and that's why I think they were able to kind of put that money up so that you can sign Galt. What's his name? Galt.
Prentice
Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So the Selman Brothers, that was
early
to
70s.
mid-70s.
Yeah, early 70s.
I had to watch him kick Missouri's ass so many times. God, they were good.
I remember
he and Billy Sims.
Larry Lacewell was the defensive coordinator, bringing it back to the Cowboys.
Wow.
And Larry Lacewell was Switzer's defensive coordinator. And I remember Lacewell later saying that, when we had the Selman brothers and Rod Schote and George Cumby and all these guys, and we were on the bus going to the Cotton Bowl in 1973 or whatever, and Lacewell turned to Switzer and said, well, hell, if we can't beat this team with these guys, we might as well get out of coaching.
I'm telling you. And
they had a string there of like 5 straight years.
Cumby was one of my favorite players to watch. Oh, he was so good.
I think what Oklahoma did for me was show how beautiful the running game can be. Because back then it was all about the running game.
Can you imagine if a team did it now? Vanderbilt kind of doing it with their misdirection stuff. And
or with
Army
their quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I like that kid. Cussing on TV like he did.
Because teams can't prepare for it.
What an interview. What an interview. Oh, my God. We didn't even talk about that.
Teams don't prepare to stop the option, you know? And so.
But to me, it was not just, it was the way that, guys like Billy Sims, Greg Pruitt, the way they were able
Joe Washington.
Yeah, the way they were able to maneuver themselves through a secondary, missing tackles. They knew that if it was 3 in front of them, based on how they were lined up, they knew that was not going to deter them from going to the end zone. And watching that, believe it or not, I grew up as a running back. I was bigger for my age at that time. First year playing football, I was a running back. I got like 18 touchdowns in like 6 games. My dad was a running back, so I had this affinity towards running backs and the way they did it. And watching Oklahoma, that's why I fell in love with them. Just the way that they did it, the blocking scheme.
Seeing they put 3 of them out there at once.
Man, yeah. Even the backups coming in.
Their best team, wishbone team, was in '78 when Sims won the Heisman. Thomas Lott was the quarterback, and then the halfbacks were Billy Sims and David Overstreet, and they had Kenny King at fullback.
Ain't that something? Crazy, bro.
I remember watching.
And all of them high draft picks.
And I could care less if someone threw the ball. I could care less. All I was looking for was to just watch them run through there just with the sweetness that they had.
How open you think receivers were when they faked here, and then, I'm going to pull it back and throw.
Think a receiver getting drafted off of Oklahoma.
But they actually did. They were first-round picks. Billy Brooks was a first-round pick, and he only got 10 targets in all of his entire college career.
Tight ends
crazy.
Too, right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
They can see it. That's what scouts are for.
And by the way, in wrapping it up, Switzer, I know he get criticized and his time with the Cowboys, but when I look back my time covering the Cowboys, that was some of the most fun times.
It was entertaining.
But see, what you guys want and what you want as a coach is totally 2 different things. We don't want our coach to be entertaining. We want our coach to be competent and win. That's all we want. We don't want him leaving weapons in his luggage. We don't want any of that stuff.
And usually his common sense reasoning was always right on.
And his ability to evaluate players, too.
And that was the best, right?
Yeah.
And
even if you're illegally recruiting, you got to figure out which the best players you're going to pay the money to.
Illegally recruit.
That's right. You
can't be wasted.
If you can't evaluate talent, then you're giving the money to the wrong people.
Spags over here looking all sneaky. You can't waste that kind of money.
I'll never forget after one of those practices at Valley Ranch, and he would come out in the front where the entrance was to do his press conference, and some reporter asked him a question that was just asinine. It was just wrong, right? And he looked at the reporter and he goes, "You don't know what you don't know, and believe me, you don't know." And I go, that was the most brilliant quote, I think, because he was right, right? Because they acted like they knew what they were talking, and they didn't, and that was his quote.
That's the other thing about Barry. His mind, he is as sharp as a tack. As far as remembering things, remembering people's names.
That's why he's still in the casinos making money. Because people want to hear him talk, they want to hear the stories, and he still knows them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he still remembers them.
Yeah,
and he was the king, and all the media bowed down to him during those days. I
think he's the only one that out-talked Jerry since he's
what
the
now?
only coach that out-talked Jerry.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, he had Jerry like, hey, I'm going to let him go with
the
it.
opening press conference. Oh,
Yes.
when he was announced as the coach. Oh, my goodness. So classic.
And that's what you want to do.
And that's damn sure what you want to do. Oh, man. All right. That does it.
We
for
should have
Mick
had
Shots.
Dale Hansen on.
That's
We
right.
could have reenacted
that was just
the
Now, that would
press
be good.
conference.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, we could still do it.
Yeah. All right. Arrange that.
All right.
Okay.
See what I could do.
Tell
All
him
right.
I'm on the show. It might come if I'm on the show.
Okay, Mickey's got to go watch practice. And
That's right.
And we'll talk at you again tomorrow at noon for Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?